Let's start this by talking about what is the pipeline. According to Microsoft, a pipeline is a series of commands connected by pipeline operators, which is the vertical character. Each pipeline operator sends the results of the preceding command to the next command. The best way to describe the pipeline at a high level is you can take one command and its output and send it directly into the next command. The pipeline operator is created by holding down your Shift key and pressing the / button, which is the button above the Enter key on your keyboard. The first thing you need to do is identify if the pipeline input is accepted for your command. To do this, you can run git help, specify the command you are checking, and then use the full parameter so that you can browse all of the help documentation for that command. You want to look in the parameter section of the full documentation. I've included a snippet here showing you exactly what that looks like. If you look towards the bottom of the screen, you will notice some text that I've marked in bold. And it says accept pipeline input. And you will notice that with the name parameter for get command, that is set to true, and that it will accept it by value or by property name. We'll get into that in more depth next. When you are trying to identify what type of pipeline input is accepted, you will see it either listing by value or by property name, and sometimes both. In this example, you will see I've listed two different parameters, an input object parameter, which only accepts pipeline input by value, and the name parameter, which will accept the pipeline input by property name or by value. So let's talk about how you can pipe these different values to your commands. You can see in this first example that I am passing the information by value. I am providing the values of what I want to do, and then I am piping it to the command I want to execute it with. This will be tried by PowerShell first. It will always check to see if by value is what it can pipe. The next thing it will do if it cannot pipe by value is try to pipe by property name. You will see in this example that it is taking the get service command with the winrm and wsearch values and then piping it to restart service. That will pipe it by value property. When you're piping things, you can pipe them more than one time. So you will see in this next example that we are taking the get service winrm and piping it to a stop service and then piping it again to a start service. Even though we are duplicating the functionality of the restart service commandlet in 3 commands, this is possible. The best way to look at this is you can have challenges with other PowerShell scripters out there of who can make the most complicated, powerful, one-line command. I enjoy this quite a bit to see how much I can complete in one line of PowerShell. Now these lines of PowerShell may become a little overwhelming, but it is still cool to see that in a single pipeline you can do some very powerful things. So let's take a look at how by property value works. The trick is the parameters are hiding in plain sight. You'll see in this example that we saw on the last slide that get service is piping the value that it receives to restart service. Now you'll notice in this slide that I have a very light gray text over on the right side with the parameter name. Now what is happening is the property names of get-service are returned include status, name, and display name. Since the name parameter matches up with the name parameter of restart service, it will know exactly which services to restart because that parameter matches up.